Wilmington, Delaware had its own kind of quiet, an expensive quiet. Viola Davis returned home from a grueling day running Davis Capital Holdings, the investment firm she built with her steel backbone and sleepless habits. The house felt wrong, too still. Jimmy Donaldson's car sat outside, but there was no clatter, no music, no movement. When she moved down the hallway, she found him on a video call, leaning into his laptop with a softness she hadn't seen in years. On the screen, Megan Fox, all auburn hair and slow smiles. "Just a few more months," he whispered. Viola didn't cry. She listened. She learned. And then she walked out, her heels in her hand, heart hammered into diamond. The logo behind Megan Fox on that call had been impossible to miss. Tech Vista Solutions, a flailing tech company that Davis Capital had acquired 6 days earlier. Viola now technically owned Megan, her salary, her office, her future. The bitter irony didn't break her. It sharpened her. She sat in her car and connected dots she should have seen long ago. Hotel charges, late-night meetings, the new cologne, a sudden interest in grooming. 8 months, maybe longer. She took screenshots. She archived emails. She didn't scream or confront. She planned. The Wilmington air was cold. Her mind was colder. The next morning, Viola met privately with Angela Bassett, the divorce attorney known in Delaware legal circles as the Velvet Guillotine. Soft voice, lethal results. Viola laid out records, bank statements, phone logs, calendar overlaps, a prenup signed 8 years ago when Jimmy was broke and dreaming of a future Viola funded. Angela didn't gasp, didn't console. She strategized. "Let him ask for the divorce first," she said. "Let him believe he is in control. When he files, we file. No emotion, only precision." Viola nodded. She had negotiated mergers larger than broken hearts. This would be handled like any other acquisition, cleanly, quietly, decisively. Viola returned home and acted. She laughed when necessary, smiled when useful, slept in the same house as a stranger who thought she was clueless. Jimmy kissed her forehead at night like a man performing for invisible cameras. Megan texted him under the alias S. Viola saw the messages. She didn't flinch. She documented timestamps. Meanwhile, at Tech Vista, she reviewed files. Megan's expense reports raised red flags. Hotel stays disguised as conferences, dinners with no client outcomes, travel with no pipeline record. Randall Park, the marketing VP, avoided her eyes in meetings. The entire department could feel it. A storm was forming in silence. 3 weeks later, Jimmy finally sat Viola down in the living room of the house she bought. He rehearsed the words, gentle, self-pitying, almost noble. "Viola, I just think we've grown apart. I need someone who understands me." She blinked once. "If that's what you want." He looked stunned. He expected tears, arguments, and collapse. Instead, Viola moved with stillness and grace. When his attorney sent over divorce papers, demanding spousal support, Viola's lawyer simultaneously filed their own, enforcing the prenup that protected everything. Chris discovered, too late, that he had lost long before he spoke. In small cities like Wilmington, gossip travels faster than truth. Jimmy and Megan went public quickly, too quickly. Engagement photos appeared online 3 weeks after the divorce finalized. Suddenly the narrative shifted. Viola was the cold career woman who neglected her husband. Megan was the warm, understanding partner who saved him. Even Jimmy's mother posted a passive-aggressive blessing. People prefer stories that flatter their fantasies. Viola, meanwhile, handled board meetings with her usual unbreakable poise, though her silence had an edge sharp enough to cut marble. Everyone whispered. Few understood. None knew the second act was coming. The Tech Vista restructuring began. Viola sat at the head of the conference table, a queen at war. Randall Park presented numbers. The decline was undeniable. Campaigns Megan Fox managed underperformed. Expenses ballooned without justification. Viola didn't mention the affair. She didn't need to. She asked questions Megan couldn't answer, slowly cornering her professionally, not personally. Every critique was documented. Every discrepancy quantified. Zendaya, Viola's assistant, sat quietly beside her, eyes sharp, typing the minutes that would build the case. Megan recognized the trap too late. This was not revenge. This was balanced. Megan tried to compensate. Long nights, panicked revisions, desperate attempts to prove value. But stressed mistakes only exposed deeper mismanagement. Randall secretly admitted that he had covered for her, believing her charm brought clients. It hadn't. It brought expense receipts. Megan's confidence cracked. Her hands shook in meetings. Her voice trembled. She had thought love would protect her. She had believed Jimmy when he promised Viola, never noticed anything. But Viola noticed everything. Now Megan understood. Viola never raised her voice not because she was weak, but because she was certain. Unable to accept the divorce terms, Jimmy fought. He lost. He appealed. He lost again. His lawyer fees piled up. Megan tried to comfort him, but their engagement was now tangled with financial strain. He had expected Viola to collapse. Instead, she flourished sleek, strategic, respected. His career stalled. His reputation dimmed. Friends stopped calling. He moved into a smaller condo. Megan saw the life she thought she was winning shrink into a cramped reality. She began to wonder if she had chosen a man who could not stand on his own. She wasn't wrong. One cold February morning, Viola held the final marketing performance evaluation. Megan sat across the table, eyes tired but defiant. Viola's voice was calm as she outlined the findings. Budget inefficiencies, travel misuse, performance failure. The documentation was airtight. The termination was professional. No mention of husbands. No mention of betrayal. TechVista wishes you the best in future opportunities, Viola said. Megan swallowed. She understood. Jimmy had left a marriage for someone who had now lost her job. Consequences, clean and sharp. No mess. No scandal. Just reality. Spring arrived. Wilmington thawed. Viola renovated the house. New paint, new art, new silence. She attended industry galas alone, poised and luminous. Zendaya handled her schedule with precision. Angela Bassett sent updates on final legal closures. Viola didn't check Chris's life anymore. Some victories don't need audiences. She drove past TechVista one afternoon and didn't look at it. Her empire was growing. Her peace was intact. She hadn't broken anyone. She simply stopped protecting them. And that, in the end, was punishment enough. We have come to the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more interesting stories. Have a good one.